I grew up in a small, isolated town with one strange tradition. Every winter solstice, a family would be chosen to keep the lantern lit at the old church from sunset to sunrise. No one ever explained why, just that it was our duty. The lantern was ancient, rusted, and emitted a dim, flickering light. But the task was taken seriously. This year, my family was chosen. My dad was thrilled, saying it was an honor, but I couldn't shake the eerie feeling. The stories around the tradition were vague, full of phrases like, "We do it to keep them out." No one ever explained who they were. That night, my dad insisted I stay awake with him in the church. At first, it was boring, just us and the lantern. But around midnight, the air changed. It got colder, unnaturally so. Then we heard it, scraping, not from inside the church, but from outside, like circling the building. My dad's face went pale as he stared at the door. "Don't look," he whispered. "Just keep your eyes on the lantern." The scraping turned into whispers, faint and urgent. I wanted to run, but my dad grabbed my arm. "If the lantern goes out, they'll get in." I didn't ask who. I didn't want to know. Hours dragged on, and the whispers grew louder, turning into low growls. Shadows shifted in the corners of the room, just out of reach of the light. My dad fed the lantern constantly, his hands shaking. When the first rays of dawn broke through the stained glass, the noises stopped. The temperature returned to normal. My dad slumped against the wall, exhausted but alive. Later, I asked him what would happen if the lantern ever went out. He hesitated before answering. "No one knows," he said. Because the one time it did, no one from that family was ever seen again. I still don't know what they are, but every year, the tradition continues and the lantern never stops burning.